Alright, so I'm getting ready, actually wet sanding. I went over this 600. I was going to show you, if you don't know what nibs are, some people don't. I don't know why they call them nibs. I've never found out. I've never had a painter be able to tell me why they're called nibs, but they're called nibs. So it's basically dirt in the paint. So you can see one there. You can see three there. There's one there, little circle. One there. Multiple ones there. So they're pretty much, they're just scattered out everywhere. So if that's what's going to land in your clear that you're going to have to denib basically and then buff. Unless you have a professional paint booth and downdraft system, and I guess even then you're going to get a little bit, probably maybe 2 or 3 versus there's probably 50 over this whole Jeep. I don't know. Anyway, I was going to show you that. I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I'm going to guide coat it with the white because I had a guy wanting to see that. But right now I can see that I don't need the guide coat yet because I've still got dark underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and hit all of that to where it's fairly smooth, and then I'll guide coat it, hit it one more time, and then that should be good. Then I'll move over to this side and start on this one. Alright, see you guys. Okay, so I think it's done, or at least for now. There's my light banks that I got. I hooked it up to my part stand, whatever you want to call it, but I bought those lights, and that way I would have obviously a set over here and then a set on this side, and then I'll have the ones up top. So hopefully I have enough light. And I also bought a gun or a light for my gun, so we'll see how that works out. It was pretty cheap, so I'm not expecting a whole lot out of it. And I also wore one of those deals on my head because there's not a whole lot. It's not a paint booth, so there's not a whole lot of room in here. There's not a whole lot of light, and there's a lot of shadows. And to me, unless you've been doing it for a long time, and I have not been painting for a long time, you need to be able to see your wet edge as you're coming down the panel. You need to see how it's laying down, what kind of texture you're getting, that type of deal. Whether it's dry spraying, whether you're spraying it too thick, too heavy, too close, too fast, too slow. There's a lot that goes into painting. It's not just that easy. It's just not. You can compensate air pressure. You can set your gun perfectly, but you also have to know what speed to run it at to get. If you go too fast, you're going to dry. If you're too far back, you're going to dry spray it. If you go too fast, you're going to dry spray. If you go too slow, you're going to run it. There's just a happy point, and you got to figure out where that is. Now, I went off on a tangent, but that's kind of what's going on. Now, this will have actually some orange peel in it. These came out with orange peel, so this won't be a glass ass smooth paint job. This, I actually want some, so I have to figure out my peel, because you want a certain type of peel, and that's another trick painters have to go through is their gun setups to figure out how to match a BMW peel versus a Jeep peel. A Jeep may have a lot of peel, and BMW may just have slight peel. They also have to compensate for the fact that it's going to shrink down. So it may look terrible when you first put it down, and then the next day you come in, it's like, oh, that was perfect. It shrunk down into exactly the peel I wanted. Well, that takes a lot of years of experience, which I don't have painting. So I have a lot of experience doing body work and stuff like that, but painting not so much. So I watch other people and try to learn from them, and do the best I can. So that's all I can do. Ultimately, all I'm trying to do right now is get that peel out. That when I lay it down, and that's why if you can lay it down, the smoother you can lay it down, obviously the less work at the end you have to do. This laid down pretty nice, but I'm still has peel in it. So, and this guide coat is actually working pretty decent. You can see it's not all just washing away. You can see there I missed some, there I haven't even touched. Here's some. I don't know if the camera will show all that, but it kind of gives you an idea of where you need to be rubbing. I wish somebody would rub me like I rubbed this thing. This thing has been loved like nobody's freaking business. I can tell you that if you don't like this kind of stuff, I would suggest don't even try it. Pay someone else to do it. It's a lot of work. Very tedious. I'm sure it's going to be rewarding at the end. But I will tell you that 99.9% of the people who walk past this Jeep probably won't even look at it. They'll be like, oh, look, a Jeep. And then they'll open their door into it or roll a shopping cart into it. Because they don't give a shit. It's just a Jeep, right? Yeah, just a Jeep. Now once I'm done with this, just rubbing this the first time, I'll go over it real quick with the squeegee. And you'll be able to see how much I missed just on this first pass. I said having sharp paper is another good thing too, and I think it's time for this paper to be changed, I guess. Try to get as much as I can on the first wipe, but after doing this, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. As soon as I dry it, you'll start seeing all kinds of the nibs, they'll still be there. Some of them, a little bit of texture here and there will still be there. People wonder why they can't get $3,000 paint jobs. I don't know what it cost for this paint job if it was done at a shop. My guess is probably close to $10,000. That's just a guess, depending on what shop you went to. But to have someone sit and hand rub this whole thing like I have, that's a lot of labor. And you're probably saying, why? Because I love the person that I'm doing it for. All right, let's see what that reveals. I change out the water quite a bit because it gets a little bit nasty. A little squeegee here. Let me move you out of the way because I'm going to end up right in the middle of everything. All right, now I'll blow it. This is already done, so I'm not that worried. I'm not worried at all. It's magnificent, at least in my opinion. So straight off the bat, you can see didn't even hardly touch that area. This all looks pretty good. Little kind of shiny spot there, little shiny spot there. There's a nib there. Those are probably nibs, possibly. Either that or they're little craters, maybe. You can see the nib that's left over right there. A little bit of a nib there. And then a little bit more peel. So just rubbing that once, I got most of it. And through here, I need to catch this more. I got most of it, looks pretty good. But I bet you I have to rub this down like that probably 3 more times. Or not 3 more times, 2 more times at least. Alright, there it is, 600. So, yeah, I got the whole rest of this to do. So, gonna be a bit.